All right. And 3, 2, 1, and action. What's up, everybody? It's Tony Tubes. This is the Dakota Podcasting Experience out of Redfield, South Dakota. Yeah. And today I'm going to get in trouble on the podcast. I'm going to do something that I don't know. Hopefully the police departments don't get mad at me. I just have some concerns, man. I got some concerns about what it means to protect and to serve. And I don't know if this is all over the country. But I'm just going to talk about some instances that I've had with police officers. And I'm going to say this right off the bat. I have met more nice police officers in my day than I have asshole police officers. But just like phone agents and people that work at Walmart and people that, work wherever, there's assholes everywhere. And there's people who take their job way too seriously in certain aspects. And there's power-hungry people, everywhere, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a cop. It doesn't matter if you're a panhandler on the street. There's always an asshole out there somewhere that's, that makes the rest of them look bad in certain ways, And the other day, my kids and I went to the Redfield Lake out here, and we pulled around this little peninsula thing, and I parked the car, and I let the kids go run out on the frozen lake for a little bit, and because they'd never been on a frozen lake before, and it's been pretty damn cold, so I'm pretty sure they weren't going to fall through. But it was their first time doing that. It was awesome and everything. We got back in the truck, and all of a sudden, I'm stuck. I can't go anywhere. My tires are spinning. My phone isn't really a phone. It's more or less an iPod, because a couple years ago, I got into a deal with Verizon, and I got this phone, and I got a plan and everything, and then the next month, 1 month goes by, and I owe them $250, and that's not even the startup cost. That was just the usage, and they're telling me about, the apps in the background. I'm like, I didn't know about that shit. You gotta fucking tell me about that shit when I'm in here, man. So I just cut off my service, and I stopped using it, but I still got the phone. So the only thing that this phone does is do 911 calls. That's the only thing it'll do. And I'm out at the lake. I have all my kids with me and shit. So it's I'm not walking anywhere. There's fucking 3 feet of snow all over the fucking place. So, and it was cold. So I called 911. And I just said, hey, man, so I'm sorry to be that guy, but I kind of got stuck out here at Haverest, and I don't have any other way of using my phone other than to call 911. That's the only number that my phone will call. And so she asked me some standard questions. Well, who am I speaking with, sir? And I'm like, Tony Zer. And she's like, and are you stuck on the ice, sir? And I was like, no, I'm not on the ice. I'm up on the road. I just got stuck on the road and stuff. And she just says, well, we don't push people out or pull people out. I can give you the number for the tow truck in town. I'm like, so I can't make phone calls. And so she said, well, I'm really sorry, sir. And I was just kind of flabbergasted. I was like, okay, thank you, bye. And it's kind of like, okay, sucks, but I ended up kind of rocking it out anyways, and I got it out a couple minutes later and stuff, but it just kind of befuddled me because it's I have children with me, and I told her I had kids, me and my kids are out here, and it's you see that stuff when the huge snowstorms hit, and they're like, oh, we're trying to rescue people on the highway as we speak and stuff that are stranded and that are stuck and everything, and it's well, then why didn't you at least even ask if I wanted to be saved? It's cold outside, man. I just wanted to stop and let my kids run out on the ice for a few minutes. I got stuck. I needed help. Protect and serve. Help a guy out, man. When I was a kid, cops were just a little bit, I remember Officer Carlson in Aberdeen. He was a really, really nice cop. And I remember Officer Gross when I was a kid. And I know he screwed over a lot of teenage friends of mine and stuff like that when it came to smoking cigarettes and getting them kind of in trouble when they were kids. But I mean, they were being dumbasses. I just happened to not get busted. But he was still nice to me. Like he still, he played the role very well of a cop who has to be a cop, but he also has to do his job. And I completely understand that. And that's why I'm saying, like, cops, I am supremely happy, with the job that you guys do 90% of the time, but it's just that protect and serve thing. Like, I don't get mad when I see a checkpoint. My kids and I have gone through a checkpoint coming back from Aberdeen a couple times, and cops are always really nice to me, and they're not hassling me. And, pretty much any time I've ever gotten pulled over, it's just a cop. It's just a person, and they're just making sure that everything's cool. And they're saying, "Hey, you might have screwed up. Hey, you had a headlight out," or "Hey, you were going a little fast." But I don't really get pulled over that much. I drive the speed limit. I don't cut people off. I use my blinkers. I don't ride people's asses. I don't hot rod or anything like that. So I don't really have an issue with police officers or anything like that. But it's just, there's been a few times, man, and like I hear other people talking about it, and like, okay, last winter I was coming home and there was like one of those big old Hutterite cargo vans stuck on the road over here by my house. And it was this guy pushing it, and his girlfriend or wife or something like that was driving it, and they were trying to push it out in this big van. And so I pull around the corner and I see this truck parked there, and then I see the van down there having issues, and the truck's just sitting there. So I pull around the truck and I go over there and I start helping them push, and we're not getting very far. And then all of a sudden, I see the truck doors open on the truck that was sitting there watching this whole thing. Like for like 10 minutes, man, they were sitting there watching it. And then all of a sudden they came up, and I kind of just, being me, I just said something like, "About fucking time, guys." And I looked back, and it was a Redfield cop. I was he was off duty and stuff like that, but I still just kind of felt like, oh, whoopsie doodles. But yeah, it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, what did you take an oath for, man? Like, are you just in it for the paycheck? Are you in it for the power struggles that you can have with people? Are you in it just for the drama of the town? Like, or are you in it to actually help people? Like, I've wanted to be a cop for a long time. I brought it up to my wife and my parents and everything, and they all say the same thing. They're all just kind of like, "This doesn't seem like you." But I've always kind of had a position of security, I guess. I've been a bouncer a lot, and I work with people where I have to kind of keep things protected, and I'm a big guy, is what they say. So I help out. I'm able to do the heavy lifting, so to speak. But I like helping people. I like making sure that everything is cool, and I also like seeing people that are garbage human beings get put in their place. And sometimes the only way to do that is with law enforcement. There's garbage human beings out there, and when they get arrested, you've seen it, you've said it on Facebook posts and stuff like that, where you're like, good, this guy needs to be in jail and shit like that. And it's just, I have always wanted to help people, but like, I put in my application at the Redfield department and everything, and they just never got back to me. And I don't know. I'm a flamboyant kind of guy. I'm an outgoing guy, and I like making people laugh. And cops are, a lot of the time, they're kind of stiff a lot of the time. But there have been really, really, really cool cops in my life too. And I'm going to tell this story, and you guys can take it for what it's worth. But when I was in high school, I had a girlfriend, and I lived in Columbia, Missouri. And on, I want to say 10th and Cherry downtown, there's a parking garage, kitty corner from Harpo's Bar. And actually, right across the street from Harpo's Bar and across the street from the parking garage was the building that Brad Pitt lived in when he went to the University of Missouri and stuff. It was, Brad Pitt's house. But we were standing up on top of the parking garage, and we were smoking plants that aren't tobacco. But yeah, so that happened in high school. But So we're standing up there and we're doing this, and it's terrible, but but also it was a very romantic moment. Like, I was sitting up here with this girl that I really liked, and we're looking out over Columbia, Missouri, downtown. It was beautiful. It was a great moment. And all of a sudden we hear like somebody panting behind us, and we look back and it's a bicycle cop. And he just rode up like 5 flights on the parking garage and shit like that on his bicycle. And he's like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm like, and he was just like, he takes it away from me. He's like, "Do you have any idea how much trouble you guys could get in for this?" And we're like, "Yeah, we have a pretty good idea, man." And he sits there and he goes, "Where are you parked?" And we're like, "We're on the first level." He's like, "What spot number?" I'm like, "What? I don't know, 8? I don't know, whatever." And and he sat there and he said that. I said, spot number 8, whatever. And then he does this, and I shit you not, this happened. He goes, "I never want to see you guys up here ever again doing this." And he hands it back to me. I'm like, "What is going on?" He's like, "Finish it up and get the hell out of here." And he gets on his bike and takes off. What the hell just happened? Is that the coolest fucking cop ever or what? Like, oh my God, that was awesome. And yeah, and I looked dope in front of this chick that I was with too. It was a good night. But it was an awesome fucking dude, man. He was an awesome guy. And there have been so many guys that I've, so many cops that have pulled me over for this or for that, or I've needed to talk to about this or that or the other thing. And they're all, a lot of them are really, really nice guys. As long as you talk to them like a human being and you're not a dick, most of them are pretty nice guys, But it's that serve and protect thing, man. I just don't get the whole. There was one time in Aberdeen, I was right in that intersection where the cop shop used to be, like the old building, and where the cop shop is, and then where Shrunken Heads used to be, and that bank on the corner that got robbed like 4 times or some shit while the cop, like across the street from the cop shop. But I was in that intersection. It was the middle of the winter, and I was a dumbass, and I took my Honda Civic out, and I got stuck. And here I am, stuck right in front of the cop shop, and I'm trying to push my own car out. Like, I got like the ice scraper down on the accelerator, and I'm trying to push my car. And these 2 cops in huge SUVs, no, it was 4 of them. There was 4 cops, 2 in each car, 2 SUVs, 4 cops drive by me and just stare at me like I'm doing something wrong. What the hell, man? Can you help? Here's a citizen in need of help. Let's help. Let's serve them. Okay? It's not just about finding the wrong things in the community and punishing those people. It's about helping the community. Like, watch old Westerns and old movies where, you got the beat cops walking down the street and stuff like that. And, they're helping people. That in my eyes is a big part of that job, is serving your community. Oh, they have the yearly fucking cop hot dog feed or what, whatever. But it's not serving your community. That's literally serving food to your community. Okay. But it's those little things, man, where, like there was a cop that used to come by in Redfield here, come by our house and stuff. And he would give the kids like police officer badge stickers, and I think he gave them glow sticks one time or something like that. Like, that was awesome, And I just think that there should be a little bit more of that in their, yeah, they have to tell you, hey, I'm not liable if I put my fucking hand through your back window while I'm trying to push your car out, or I put my hand through your fucking tail light or something like that. There's got to be something, and I know that that's probably a, part of it and stuff, but it's like, what happens if somebody's broken down on the side of the road? The cop stops and offers to help them. They stop and they say, hey, can I call a tow truck for you? Can I take you to the nearest, this place or something like that? That happened to my mom one time We got stuck in between. We were going out to the Black Hills, and it was that long ass stretch of road from Faith to Newell that is nothingness out there, nothingness. And my mom's car broke down, and a cop showed up and took us into town. Took us into town. This was before like cell phones and all that stuff, and he took us into town to the nearest gas station so we could call somebody. And that there needs to be more of that. I just think that cops need to have a little bit more of that. I'm gonna say one more story here. Like, I might have a couple more, but another one that happened to me in Aberdeen was I was coming home from work. I worked at the Zoo Bar. I was coming home from work, and my buddy was with me, and I wasn't drunk. I hadn't been drinking. I don't drink, like barely ever. And so I wasn't drunk. My buddy wasn't drunk. Neither of us were drunk at all. And so we get literally onto my block. We turn the corner on North First Street there. We're on my block. I'm like 5 houses away. And my car fucking timing chain goes. And it just right there, right in the middle of the intersection. And so we start pushing it. Of course we start pushing it. And we see a cop drive by on 8th Avenue. And then we see him come back, and he pulls around. He turns his fucking lights on. And he proceeds to get out and hassle the shit out of us. And he kept saying, you're drunk. You guys have been drinking. I'm like, dude, give me a breathalyzer. Do it right now. I'm not drunk. And he just kept hassling us. Where are you coming from? You better not be thinking you're going to be driving. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to drive? My car's dead. Like, what the hell is going on here? This guy just chewed my ass. And yeah, so there was that. There was a time I went up to North Dakota to pick up a friend. I was going up to Jamestown, and I got off of work at Pizza Hut. And this is more or less just them kind of hassling me. I got off work at Pizza Hut. I literally did not even go home. I left North Pizza Hut out by Shopko in Aberdeen. I left there, and I drove north on 281 to go pick up my buddy. I picked him up. I come back. And the cops pull us over. I guess I blew a stop sign in one of the small towns and stuff. And it's, the middle of the night. It's like 2:00 in the morning. And I'm really, really sorry and everything, officer. And he goes, it smells like alcohol in your car. And I'm like, it doesn't. And he's like, how do you know? What do you know? I'm the police officer. I'm the officer of the law here. What do you know? I know it smells like alcohol inside that car. I'm like, motherfucker, it smells like cooked green and black olives in my car. Want to know why? Because that's what I deliver all night long. And if you ever delivered pizza in your car for 1.5 years, like I have in this fucking hoopty, then you'll know that you can't get that fucking smell out of your car. Okay? That's just how it goes. And he just proceeds to hassle me. He pulls me out. He gives me a breathalyzer, searches the fucking car, doesn't find anything. Then he just proceeds to ask me to do a field sobriety test. I have no nerves leading down to my left foot. I have to wear a brace for it. That particular night, I was not wearing my brace. So my foot's all floppy and shit. Yeah. So I proceed to tell him, sir, I have a disability, so this probably isn't even admissible in court because I'm probably not going to be able to balance on my left foot. So I'm sorry. And after like 20 minutes of me showing him my calf muscle and how it's like significantly smaller than my right calf muscle and all this shit, finally he lets us go with a fucking warning. I was just like, what the hell was all that about? But I don't know, man. Hassling people, when they're obviously just kind of in a lurch and not helping people out. Like, help them out. If you can help somebody, help somebody. Because going back to the story about my kids and I getting stuck out at the lake the other day, what would you guys do if I said, we're stuck here, we can't go anywhere, and it's negative 20 degrees outside, we need help? I'm sorry, sir, we can't come and push you out. At least offer to, hey, can we take you somewhere so you can call somebody? Can the officer come there and you can use his cell phone to call somebody? Something. Do something like that. And it was just kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight was just I appreciate law enforcement. The other thing I kind of wanted to talk about, this is kind of switching gears here. The other thing I want to talk about was just how we handle the drug side of criminals in this state. Because it kind of goes along with this. But it's like, right now I saw on the news that South Dakota is looking at the ingestion charge really, really carefully. Because if you guys are listening to this outside of South Dakota or you just don't know about it, South Dakota has on the books a law that it's the ingestion law, where if you have ingested an illegal substance, whether that be marijuana or a controlled substance like meth or something like that, that you can go to jail for that. And if they stop you and they say, oh, it smells like weed in the car, and they search your car and they don't find any weed on you and they don't find any weed in the car and the dogs don't hit on the car or anything like that, then they can say, okay, well, we believe that you are stoned, so we are going to take you back to the police headquarters and we're going to piss test you. And if you refuse, they will take you to the emergency room and they will restrain you and they will cath you and get your pee from you. I think that's a violation. I think it's a terrible fucking law. And I just think that you have to look at addiction in a certain way, because treatment around here really treats people like, you have somebody in there who got caught smoking a joint. And you have somebody in there who sold their kids because they needed another hit of heroin. There's a significant difference between those two people. But at places like Worthmore and such in Aberdeen, the treatment facilities here, they treat everybody the same. They treat everybody like an addict. And that's just all you are is an addict. And that's a very dangerous way of looking at it. It really, really is. Like, you really should not treat everybody like that. And I don't think that people should be getting in trouble with the law unless they're doing something like, driving with it on them, driving under the influence, stuff like that. If you intentionally break the law like that, then, it's the same as alcohol, man. You can't walk down the road and be drinking a beer. You can't walk down the road and be smoking your meth pipe. And I am not a meth user. I have never used meth ever in my life. I don't even think I've ever been in the same room as it. And I'm happy with that. I am perfectly happy. I've done a lot of crazy things in my day, but I've kind of lived by the moniker of like no pills, no powders, like that kind of thing. It's really dangerous stuff, man. And I got addicted to painkillers a while ago. And it wasn't by my own choice. I had to take them for surgery, and it was hell getting off of those fucking things. And if I never see another Vicodin, Percocet, Dilaudid, Valium, anything like that, I'll be completely happy if I never see one of those pills ever again. But I don't think that people should be arrested. I don't think it should be illegal to put a substance into your body, even if it could potentially harm you, even if it can potentially, ruin your life. Because I honestly think that it's how you treat addiction. You need to treat addiction, because there's people out there that are drunks, hardcore drunks. And I'll talk about that in a different episode, about drunks. And there's people out there like my dad and like me who can go to the bar, have a beer or two, and be completely fine like that. I don't need to get wasted just because I drank a little bit of alcohol. I don't have an addiction to alcohol, but I can consume it and I can still live my life. And you can even go off of mind-altering substances, but these might still be mind-altering substances if you think about it. But you look at somebody who is shoveling in 3 meals from McDonald's every day. Somebody who is severely obese and are killing themselves with fast food or just overeating and such. And I mean, that is an addiction. There are food addictions, and that's a very real problem. But you don't see those people getting arrested when they go to Walmart to get a cheeseburger. Or at Walmart, when they go to McDonald's to get a cheeseburger, sorry. There's gambling addictions out there. There's sex addictions out there. There's all sorts of addictions out there. There's people who are addicted to coffee who could use to, not do that anymore. There's people who are addicted to, oh, what the hell else? But there are people out there that can, have a cheat day from their diet and are able to not eat food that is going to clog their arteries and give them a heart attack someday or make them severely obese. It's how you approach it, and you need to approach addiction just like you approach gambling addiction, and just like because, hey, you don't see the cops walking in and arresting somebody for blowing his entire $1,700 paycheck that needs to go to his family and bills and food and everything like that on a gambling machine. You don't see the cops coming in and fucking with him. But you have somebody who smokes a joint in their apartment, and the neighbors call the cops, and the cops come in and they arrest that person because they were sitting in their apartment watching a TV show smoking a joint. And let's not even talk about the hypocrisy between alcohol, cigarettes, and weed, because alcohol is a mind-altering substance, okay? Alcohol is an addictive substance, okay? Alcohol can kill you if you consume enough of it, or enough of it over time. It can kill you tonight, or it can kill you 16 years from tonight. But it could still be alcohol each way. Cigarettes, perfectly legal, super addictive, and one of the only products out there that, if used correctly, will kill you. I struggle myself with cigarette addiction, and I think it's worse than some other addictions that people have. But it's legal, and you smoke it. Is it mind-altering? Not really. It's addictive, but it's not mind-altering. Maybe the first one you smoke after a while, that gives you a little bit of a buzz for a minute. But, so alcohol, mind-altering substance, can kill you. Legal. Cigarettes, non-mind-altering substance, you smoke it, and it can kill you. And it's addictive. Marijuana, you smoke it, makes you happy, hungry, tired, doesn't kill you, not addictive, and legal or illegal in the state of South Dakota. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And if you think that that these things are different, that marijuana is different than alcohol. No, it's not. It is. It's very different from alcohol, but we're in the same ballpark here, man. It's a mind-altering substance, but it's better for you than alcohol. If you try to argue against that, you're going to be a moron. I'm sorry, you sound like a moron if you argue against that. I personally think that we need, and I'm going to have a whole episode on the good aspects of South Dakota legalizing recreational and medicinal, but mostly medicinal marijuana. Like what the impact on this state would be if we legalize that stuff, and how much our economy would boom. I'm going to have a whole episode on that. Maybe it'll be the next episode. But so I think that you need to treat the addiction. You don't need to arrest it. Ruining somebody's life and making sure that nobody hires them, making sure that they're looked down upon by their friends and family because of this and that and the other thing, and just all the negative aspects of being arrested for a totally non-violent crime. It's very, very sad that that's where we are. And it's also very sad that the police, I feel, in a lot of ways, are more against us than out there for us. It just seems like cops these days have come to the point where, they're the hall monitor. Their sole job is to get people in trouble. And I want to see more cops like Mike Miller. Mike Miller has an elementary school named after him in Aberdeen. He was a good cop, and he was a really great man. There are a lot of really, 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 really good police officers out there that are setting a good example. But you look at the Black Lives Matter, aspect of the whole thing. There's a lot of really, really mean-tempered, rule-crazy cops out there that really just kind of make some of us civilians look at it like, that's what makes us look in the mirror twice. I'm not doing anything wrong, but I still look in the mirror when the cop goes by me because, is he going to pull me over? Was I doing something? Was I, it just seems like there's more of like the threat of something there. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be like, the sheriff of a town. He's the man of the people. They elected him because he, was there for them, and he was there for the people. He was there to observe the law and to lay down the law, but he was also, a friend, a mentor, all that stuff. And I want to see more of that. I want to see more cops getting out of their cars and saying, "Can I help push you out, man?" Or, "Hey, can I call somebody for you, man? There's a lot of snow around here." And I just think it's crap that unless you're breaking a law or it's obstructing something, that you're just on your fucking own. Like, I got 4 kids in the car with me, man. Help a brother out. Do you want me to pay you? Like, what the hell, man? I want to see our criminal justice system change for the better. I just want to see a better cohabitation between civilians and police officers. And I know there's a lot of crazy people, like, people out there, civilian. I'm talking to the police officers now. I know that most of your job is people lying to you. And I know that most of your job deals with assholes who are beating up on their old ladies, assholes who are drunk, people who don't give a shit about cops, people who talk down to you because, you're inconveniencing them and you're pulling them over and they're just getting pissy and everything. And I know that it's tough. I've looked at it from all angles, and I've watched enough cop movies and cop shows and like real life cop shows and stuff like that to know that cops are people. And a lot of them are really good people. But I just think that they could be more for the people too. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think. I want to hear some stories. I want to hear some people tell me what they've come to, what they've come across in their lives. I'm not coming down on the Aberdeen Police Department or the Redfield Police Department, or I hope that guy from the Columbia Police Department doesn't get in trouble for that. How the fuck could that even happen? But I don't know. I've met good cops and I've met bad cops, man. The good have outweighed the bad, but the bad, when they're bad, God, they're really bad. They're just really bad. And they really just make you go, wow, what a prick. And I can say that for the guy at the fucking grocery store. It's not because you're a cop. It's because you're not doing your fucking job. At least what I think your job should entail. If there's more to this, I would love to know. I would love to know if there's like insurance issues or something like that with them helping people get their cars unstuck, or just coming and offering a helping hand, man. I mean, isn't there a good Samaritan law? Do the cops not have to deal with that? Like, what the hell, dude? What the hell? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know. Talk to me. It's 10:13 p.m. and I'm sorry if I look like shit tonight, man. I just had to dig myself out. We got a fucking blizzard come through here today, and my back door was covered in snow that I had to dig out from the inside of the house, and just back and forth to get people from work, my wife and brother-in-law and stuff, and we only got one car. So we're just trying to make it all work, and it's a bitch, man. It's a bitch. And I guess the snowplows came out at 4, and they stopped at 7. I don't know why. They did the emergency snow routes, and they were done, dude. They moved snow for 3 fucking days. They were out there beep, beep, beep for 3 days, man. All 3 days. Just beep, beep into the night. Beep, beep. And then the snowstorm hits, and they're nowhere to be fucking seen, man. And I'm driving through this mess, just trying to get people to work. So, you guys have a good one. Saturday, 3/9/2019, 10:14 in the PM. My dog is passed the fuck out over there. You guys have yourself a good night. And one love to the cops, man. You know, I do want to see the meth problem go away, but at the same time, I just don't think that the way we're doing it is going to work because it's always going to be there. Like if the war on drugs has taught us anything, is that it's never ending. It's never going to stop. People are always going to want to get high. You know, just like prohibition didn't work. You know, they took the alcohol away and it just created a crime syndicate, which we already have with drugs. And it was the wild, wild west once again out there. And it is for drug addicts too. It is for people that are looking to score illegal substances. You know, it's the wild, wild west out there, man. You never know what you're getting or who you got to deal with or who they dealt with or what they had to do to get it through here. And I mean, it's gross, man. It's a gross fucking life out there. And I just wish that we could do more for the people that have medical issues that need stuff. I wish that we could do more for people that have addictions to terrible, terrible substances that are ruining their lives, killing them, all that stuff, making them OD. I just think that we're working it the wrong way, man. I think our cops need to be more for the people, and our government needs to be more for the people and not so much against the people. People helping people, you know? That's my cry. People help people. You guys have a good night. Dakota Podcasting Experience. Oh, let me plug all my stuff. Find us on Facebook, the Dakota Podcasting Experience. Now I got to open up all my shit here. 1 second. I got so many things. Email us at DakotaPodcasting@gmail.com, DakotaPodcasting@gmail.com, and find us on Facebook at Dakota Podcast. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for watching. Got some pretty good viewership out of the last 2 videos. Hopefully this one goes good, too. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next time.